Hi, Analisa Six here with the Lady of Leisure and the Sober Curator to bring you the June 2024 horoscope for the zodiac sign of Scorpio for sun and rising placements. Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to June. We are in Gemini season, and we are starting Gemini season out with a bang, having the sun, Venus, Jupiter all in Gemini, and then Mercury enters Gemini on the 3rd. I apologize if you can hear my dog coughing because he's got a little cold and he's coughing. You okay, bud? Oh, yeah. You were just chilling before. Just go back to chilling. Getting distracted by this coughing dog. You're okay, bud. He's on lots of medicine for it, but he has this coughing fit still. Ugh. I'm gonna pause this and see if he'll settle down again. I think he's good for a second. All right, we'll see. All right, so the area of the chart that's hitting for Gemini season for Scorpio is the area that rules the 8th house. So, starting June out, your 8th house is lit up, and the 8th house is the house that Scorpio traditionally rules. And so this is a pretty well-known energy for Scorpios. Having it in Gemini is obviously a different flavor, but the 8th house is the house that's related to sex, death, rebirth, the occult. It also has a relationship to shared resources and inheritance, taxes, loans, marriage, shared resources through marital things like, bills and, anything that we have that we are co-creating with a partner essentially. And so those are all big themes that come up for you this Gemini season, having the sun, Venus, Mercury, and Jupiter here. Jupiter is going to be here in the horoscope chart for the next year. And so Jupiter is the planet that represents expansion and growth. And sometimes when Jupiter is transiting this area, we do experience a lot when it comes to these themes. Having Venus passing through here does ramp up your desire for connection, sexual intimacy, maybe taking a relationship to the next level, if you're not married, but you're thinking about marriage, or if you haven't moved in with a partner and you're thinking about combining your living situation, those could be themes. This also brings up themes around money and how you manage money with multiple people. If you are dealing with an estate or inheritance or any money from family, that also is a big theme. And then having Mercury here, this also kind of ties you into more of the psychic energy of the, kind of occult studies, esoteric studies. You might be more drawn to this kind of stuff. I always kind of joke, I have an 8th house sun, and I always kind of joke around it because of my 8th house sun placement. This is why I really enjoy true crime and, I've always been really into like murder mystery stuff and ghost stories, those types of things. And I definitely think those are big 8th house themes. It's very Scorpio. And so there's also an elevated kind of desire to pull towards those things when we have a lot of 8th house transit. So if you've been kind of wanting to maybe go dive into some true crime podcasts or documentaries or ghost stories or things like that, that could also be enhanced with these transits during this time. I don't really talk about that side of the 8th house very often, but I think when you have kind of more of these like positive energies, like the sun, Venus, Mercury, it can lean more into those things versus when you have transits like Saturn or Mars passing through here, it does tend to be more disruptive to the actual parts of the life that, are ruled by these things. We also enter June with Mars finishing up its stint in Aries. So Mars was passing through Aries throughout all of May. And just the first week of June, Mars is going to be going through the later degrees of Aries. And the area of the chart that this is hitting for Scorpio is the area that rules your health and also the way that you manage your daily routine. And so if you've been feeling kind of like you've been trying to get your world in order, you've been trying to kind of, get a handle on your health, get a handle on what you've been kind of setting yourself up with day to day, that transit is finishing up for the first part of June. But, you might still be in that mode a little bit in terms of wanting to organize your day in a way that's more functional. June 6th, we have a new moon at 16 degrees of Gemini That's hitting in that 8th house again. So if there's things that you want to set intentions towards manifesting around money, shared resources with a partner or with family members, assets, loans, taxes, debts, sex, death, rebirth, all of those themes. This is a positive time to set intentions towards that with the new moon on the 6th. On June 9th, we have Mars entering Taurus, and Mars is going to be in Taurus for the rest of June. And the area that hits for the Scorpio chart is the area that rules the 7th house. And so this house represents your partnerships, your relationships with romantic partners, dating, also best friends and business partnerships. When Mars is passing through the area of the chart, we do experience some conflict or some turbulence. And so that can be something that you might be up against in June. It's interesting because the Gemini energy is still kind of bringing some blessings to that area. So hopefully whatever kind of tension comes up with Mars passing through here, you're able to kind of sort it out in a harmonious way with Venus still in your 8th house for a time. By the 17th, Mercury and Venus are going to be leaving the 8th house and entering your house, the 9th house, your house of spirituality, long distance travel, higher education, cultural studies. So starting on the 17th, having that move into Cancer with Venus and Mercury, you might be more inclined to want to take a trip or to maybe further your education in some way. I feel like I'm about to sneeze. That's why I'm squinting my face. The air quality in Los Angeles is really bad right now, and it's definitely affecting me. But yeah, so you're going to have kind of this elevated desire to maybe travel, get out of the mundane, maybe do some spiritual seeking in some kind of capacity, whether that's through a retreat or a program, or even just buying a book on something that you've been interested in. That's enhanced on the 17th. On the 20th, the sun enters Cancer and then is going to move out of your 8th house and into the 9th house and really light up that 9th house and those themes. So it's a great time to go on a trip if you've been thinking about traveling to another country or doing some kind of long distance travel. That's definitely supported for the rest of June. And Cancer makes a trine to Scorpio, so it's very fast, easy flowing energy. So things just kind of happen quickly when we have trines happening to our main placements. It's a good time for expansion and growth too, having it in the 9th house. And then on the 21st, we have a full moon in Capricorn. It's at 1 degree of Capricorn. And so the sun's going to be in Cancer, and then the moon's going to be highlighting your 3rd house of communication where Capricorn is. And this is a really positive time for releasing and letting go of belief systems or communication patterns that are not serving you, and setting intentions towards maybe things that you would like to learn or call in, or if there's communication dynamics that are coming up for you while Mars is passing through the 7th house. It could be really positive for you to set intentions around the ways that you wish to grow or evolve in how you communicate with others. So that's a big theme for you. The only other transit that we have that's a big deal is Saturn stationing retrograde in Pisces on the 29th. And the area that's hitting for the Scorpio chart is the area that has to do with self-expression. And so you might be in a place of reflecting on your creativity, your relationship to self-expression and creativity. You might be wanting to redefine it in some way during the retrograde period. Saturn's going to be retrograde here for Scorpio dominant people until November, until Scorpio season, basically. And yeah, that's basically the main transitional energy that we have for the month of June. If you want a bigger breakdown on each individual transit for every day, I go over that in the June 2024 astrology forecast. That's at the top of the playlist in this chart. So you can look at that if you want a bigger breakdown. If you would like to book a reading with me, I do one-on-one sessions. My email is in the description box. You can find me at ladyofleisure.com and thesupercurator.com. Make sure to hit like, subscribe if you want to be notified on when I post these videos every month. And I will see you guys next month. If my dog coughing in the background is distracting, I apologize. I'm doing the best we can over here.